Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of our training with CJ Creative World. In today's training, we will learn how to make inner pocket. Okay, so in making this inner pocket, you will need your pair of scissors. You actually need a matching thread. You also need your zip. Okay, then the lining itself that you want to add or attach the pocket to. Okay, so let's go to the cutting table. Okay, so first we'll have to draw our pocket pattern. Okay, so I'm going to use this particular paper. I just picked this paper in the salon packaging paper I picked, so I'm going to use it to draw out the pocket pattern. Actually, this same pattern can be used for the back pocket. So like I said, it can be used for the back pocket. It's the same pattern. There is no different way. The only thing different is that you're going to open the hole on the back panel of your bag, but for the lining, for the inner pocket, you will have to place it on the lining. Okay, so let's take it one after the other. Okay, take this paper, measure at least 7 inches. Okay, I just measure 7 inches. You could make it 8 inches, you could make it 9 inches, you could make it any size depending on the size of bag you're sewing. If it's a very big bag that can contain that, by the time you fill the pocket it won't get to the extreme of the bag, then you can make it longer. But for this particular one I'm making is 7 inches, so I'm going to measure from here to 7 inches. I will make my mark. Okay, then the same 7 inches I will have it like this. So I will take my ruler. Okay, so with my ruler I'll just draw the line. Okay, now 7 inches by let's say 1.5 inches. Okay, so you could make it 2 inches, okay, depending on how big you want it. But now I'm going to do only 7 inches by 1.5 inches. Okay, so this is my 1.5 inches, and I will just draw it this way. Then I will get the 1.5 inches here again, and I will also make the mark. So with my ruler I will trace it and join it together. Okay, so now that I have it this way, I will cut it off. Okay, so this is what I have. Okay, so remember we said it's 1.5 inches. Okay, so you look at it, it's 1.5 inches. Now what we need to do now is to get the center of this 1.5 inches. Okay, you know how to get the center. You could just fold your tape into two, placing this head at 1.5 inches and fold it. Now you already have the 1.5 inches. Okay, so you place it here this way and make your mark. This is exactly where it is. You do the same thing here. Then use your ruler also. Draw from 1/2 inch from here. This is where the 1/2 inch is. This is 1/2 inch, and we also take 1/2 inch from this point. Yeah. So we are going to connect it with the ruler. What I'm doing is just to get the center of this. Now that we've gotten the center, all we need to remove from this is 1/2 inch. Remember we have 1.5 inch, so we are going to create opening, and that opening would be a 1/2 inch opening. Okay, you could make the opening more than 1/2 inch, if your zip is a little bit bigger. Okay, but if it's a very small zip, you don't have to. Okay, but this particular zip, half inch is okay, but it's going to be tight on it, and that is what, and that is how I want it. Okay, so I'll use my tape. From this center I'll get 0.25, which is half of half inch. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. You do it, you get it somewhere here, it's somewhere here, and you still do the same thing here. You still repeat it on the other side of it. So you will do this in such a way that by the time you measure from the first line to the last line, that's the third line, remember this is the center. Okay, because we want this pocket to be at the center, that's why we have to get this center. So by the time you place your tape from the first line to the second line, you will have half inch. Okay, so you look at it very well. This is half inch. From the first line to the third line, we're having half inch. So I'm going to cut all these places off now. Okay, so you can fold it into two. You can use your cutter, rotary cutter to cut, but I'm going to use scissors. So what I do is I fold it into two, open it this way, then start the cutting. Okay, now that my scissors can go in, I'll start my cutting this way. So, all right, so this is what I have, you see. So with this I'm good to go, whether for back pocket or inner pocket. Okay, any pocket at all, this is the method. Okay, so for me now, for the inner pocket, I will have to get my lining this way, take at least 3 inches from the top, depending on the size of bag. Assuming the bag is a small bag, you could take it from 2 inches, so that by the time you create the pocket won't sit at the bottom of the bag. So now your initiative plays a lot in this case. Okay, so if the bag is small, you can take 3 inches. In some cases you can take 4 inches, depending. Okay, so for this you could just do, I'm taking 3 inches from the top. Okay, so this is the 3 inches that I have, because I'm going to make a little fold here before sewing. Now for placing this first, I will have to fold this into 2 equal parts. That's the lining I have already cut that I want to fit the pocket on. Get the center this way. I will also have the center of this. I can get the center. You see, I folded it, now I have the center. You could make a mark on the center. So you press this way, because if the pocket is not at this, it's not on the center, it means it won't really look nice. So I'll take it down, knowing that I've taken it from the center. Then, and it has to be at 3 inches. This is the 3 inches. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so, and it's at the center. You see, so I'm going to keep this way. Take my chalk or marking pen, anything at all, to make a mark here. Then apply my gum on this. I'll apply my gum on it this way. I'll have to apply the gum very well, allow it to dry for some time, then place it on that particular center at 3 inches like we did. So if I place it this way, it won't fall. Okay, I'll still use my scissors to cut this open. But before cutting, I'll still use my gum to rub it in here so that it will be easier for me to fold, because I'm going to fold it. Okay, so now that I'm done applying the gum, I'll allow it to dry for some time. When it's well dried, I'll open it up and cut it into 2 equal parts. But this time I am not going to cut it to the end. Okay, when I get to this end, I will make a V cut. I'll have to cut, you know, the way the shape is. I will just make a V from like 1/4 inch. I'll make a V curve from here. So I need you to understand what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see this very well, but yeah, I think it's clear. So this is the V curve I'll make from at least 1/4 inch from here, and continue the same way. When I get to this point, I'll make the same V curve. I hope it's clear. So I'm going to cut from here to this point, and again from this point to this point, this way. The way I've drawn this, that's exactly how I'm going to cut. Is it clear? Oh, I wish I have a white pen, but it's still visible. Yeah, it's visible. Okay, so I cut straight. When I get to this point, I will cut this way and this way. Okay, so let's start the cutting. Then after the cut, I will fold it on. I'll fold this half this way and the second half this way. Then this particular one, I will fold this place. So now we have how many points? We have point 1, point 2, and then 3.4. Okay, that's exactly how we are going to do the folding. This same method is also applicable to the back pocket. Okay, so after the folding, you see the way I pick this angle here and place it this way. Okay, so I will start with this other side. So you keep folding it that way. I'm showing it so that you will see it. Normally I fold this way. You will try as much as you can to make sure you have this, but that's where you're going to sew. So this point as well, I will pick it and drop here. Then okay, so you have it this way, and this is the front of your lining. It has to be this neat. Okay, so at this point you take your zip, place it this way. Now there are 2 ways to sew inner pocket, but only one way to sew back pocket. Well, there might be other ways, but say, let me not just say it's only one way. No, it's not only one way. Okay, but that's how I sew my back pocket, just this way, and it comes out very neat and sweet. Okay, so now I have to cut a zip a little bit longer than this. Okay, now look at the zip. I have half inch. This is the space here, half inch here, half inch here. Okay, so apparently I have 8 inches zip. I cut 8 inches zip. So when I place it here, I will have half inch left. Remember, what we cut is 7 inches. So to sew this, you will need this is the pocket itself. Now this is 10 inches. You see, it's 10 inches. Okay, so you make your cut 10 inches by, it has to be longer. It has to be longer, wider than the pocket we created. So it's exactly the same size with the zip. So I have 8 inches here. You need to look at it very well so that you don't make mistake. 10 inches by 8 inches. So by the time I'm done sewing this pocket, I will have 5 inches per pocket. Okay, it's going to be this way. So first, you can place this down and fix your zip. That's the first method to sew this inner pocket. Okay, you place your zip. At first, you place it this way. Make sure it sits well here. You see it. Now when you place it this way, you will sew, you make a back stitch here before going, so you sew through to this end and make your back stitches. Okay, and this place will be open. So you take it, get your lining, place it, but in this case this lining has to be 5 inches or more depending on the size of the bag. Okay, so you take it 5 inches, place it down. Remember, you've already sewn this way, so all you need to do now is to start your sewing. Cross this zip, cross the head here so that the zip head doesn't pull off, and sew this way round. Make the same cross here, take it down. Remember, you have 5 inches behind, so as you sew from here, you keep measuring it. Make sure when you get to this 5 inches, you won't go out of it. You get to maybe a little bit to the tip, then you turn. Keep your hand straight, continue that way, and sew and get to where you started from. Then you will see your pocket is ready. But I'm not going to sew this pattern, this particular way now. I am going to sew in such a way that it will be easier for you also to make back pocket with it. Okay, for this particular one I've shown you how to sew now. When you open it, you won't be able to bring out the inner pocket. You won't be able to bring the lining inside, the one you use for the inner pocket. But for the one we are going to sew, we'll be able to bring it out. And now this is how it's been done. In this case, we don't need to sew this place down first. So what we need to do is to make sure this is well placed. Then we'll take our lining and put it the same way. Okay, this time I am picking only one side of the lining. Can you see how the other side of it is flying? This is the other side of it. It will be flying this way. So I'll take it to my machine. Place this way. I want you to see the lining first. That's one edge of the lining first, then my zipper, and then the pocket well placed this way. And I'm going to sew the top side first. Okay, so we'll continue the sewing that way. As you sew, you make sure you don't sew off the lining you have inside. I've gotten to the tip here. Okay, remember the point we cut the triangle? That's where I've gotten to at this time. So I need to make a turn. Then I won't have to sew like that. Okay, because if you look under, if I sew this way, it means I will sew the lining down. So what I will do now is, as I make the turn, I will raise the foot and make sure I remove this lining this way. Okay, I've taken it out, so I'm not sewing it now. Look at it very well. You will see that I'm not going to sew it. I'm not going to sew it, you see. So I'm going to sew the zip itself alone. If I sew the lining, it won't be fine. It won't even align at all. Okay, so now that I've shifted it very well this way, I can back stitch this point. Then I'll turn it again. At this point, I will bring this head Now see, I've not sewn this side, I've only sewn one side. Okay, so I will take this particular end and place it on the zip this way. Place it. Now look at the zip, look at the lining itself. Then this is the pocket, so I'm going to place it this way and start my sewing. Then I'll draw this one. See how it looks like here. The pocket is already forming. Okay, so now as I sew, I make sure I don't sew off the inner lining. That's the pocket lining. I'll take my time to be washing it under. Almost to where I started from. I will make the turn. Remember what we did at first? We removed the lining. So this time we are going to remove this lining. Okay, you see the way it is here. So I'm going to pull it back, draw it, try my best this way. Now it has gone up, so I will try to stretch the zip itself, bring it down, and continue the sewing. So I will also make a back stitch here. Then I will turn to where I started from, but then I'll still put the lining so I don't sew on top of it. You have to be conscious of this lining behind the pocket system. You have to be conscious of it so that you don't sew on it. Now I button to where I started from. I made my back stitches and the lining is almost ready. Again, don't forget this training is with CJ Creative World. Okay, always follow us on Instagram, like our page on Facebook, watch our YouTube channel CJ Creative World for free trainings. Okay, so this is it. And the pocket is open. You can see it's open from here to here. We've not sewn it. So what we need to do now is to stitch these two places. So I pin it down. Now at this point you don't need to climb the zip. No matter how you try, you will not sew this to the end. There must be a small space here where your needle cannot get to. I know with this machine I can climb it, but I don't need to. Okay, so when you get there, you make your back stitch. No matter what, nothing will ever fall off from that point that is open. That's between where the zip is. Oh, I even sewed it. Okay. Same process on the other side of it. This again, and you're good to go. Don't forget this training is with CJ Creative World, and we are learning how to make inner pocket and back pocket. So still the same way. This is just out them up so that it will be neat. That's like I'm doing now. This is all this. Okay, so this is it, and we are good to go. I open my zip. I have my pockets. Can you see my pockets? So beautiful. Now you won't see the rough edges anywhere. If you look at this way, you won't see it. It's the same process with back pocket. You see, you can bring this out, but for the first explanation I made, you won't be able to bring this out because you sewed it on the body of the lining. Okay, so this is all about back pockets and inner pockets making with CJ Creative World. Thank you.